Hey guys, it's Vince, your business engineer. We're going to focus today on the particular situation of the pandemic and how much stress it's putting on you guys and how you need to think differently to address it. So I'm going to show 12 different methods I've been using separately or together, and hopefully it's going to help you guys out. If you're watching this, you're probably either a professional, a self-starter, entrepreneur, you're working in a business in some way or some form. And you're challenged right now because you have to think differently on how to address the situation. You want to convince people, you have to get investors on your side, and you're trying to figure out like what's the right approach. So depending on the right approach, you might want to pick the right perspective. The hard part is that sometimes people approach you with the perspective they want. So you might as well ask them. Most of the time they're going to ask you, something specific, but you might need to work around it. So again, you're going to pick a perspective, you're going to adapt it, and you need to tell the story. When the guys and investors, the people you need to influence, are going to approach you or you approach them, you might be hearing about the zero-based budgeting approach. It's all about cost and value. You might also hear people asking you like, well, just what's your vision? What's your new vision? Where are you going? Or it could be like, well, let's focus on user experience. We haven't been looking at that for a long time. Why not look at it? Sometimes you might want to look at what's your evolution roadmap, or evolution framework. Do we have to go digital? Do we have to go online? Do we have to be using artificial intelligence in some way or some form? So that's one of the perspectives which is popping up right now. Talking about roadmaps, a lot of people are asking like, what's your 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 2-year roadmap? How do you get there? What's the road? What are your milestones? So road mapping is something that it's kind of hard to avoid right now. And also people are asking you, what's your strategy? What's your plan? What are you going to do first year? How are you going to do it? Why do it that way? So being strategic and having strategies, it's keeping everybody busy right now. And everybody has a business case. So one of the methods and perspective is let's just put a business case together and just ask the investment, or we need to borrow money. So if the business case is helping formally put your ask and presenting it to the people, or most probably investors right now. The gap analysis is something that a lot of people are doing jointly with the business case. And that's showing like what's missing, as a system, people, and process. And everybody's thinking about the risk, So what's your risk analysis? If you don't have one now, you're probably living it and you don't even know yet. A lot of people have to fix their base. When we use the term fix the base, all it means you need to put some fires out in your business. So fix the base is fixing some core issues in systems, processes, and people that are keeping you away from what's interesting. So you're not growing, you're just trying to fix the base. Once you fix the base, you can move on to something else. And work stream, if people ask you about like work streams and what type of different work streams you have, all they're telling you is like, how do you organize your people and what are they working on right now? And hopefully they're working in parallel, because we're hoping for a smart type of organization. So my unbreakable approach is to use all of those different perspectives, to adapt them, and then to tell a story. My story and how I line up all those things together, it's in a logical sense to me and the way I see things. So because of all those different frameworks, I call those frameworks, are challenging even on their own. Plugging them together can be quite hard when you start out. So the way I've logically put them together when I tell my story, I usually have in mind my zero-based budgeting, because I know that money is still king. We're here to make things profitable, to make things functional. You want to keep your business alive, right? So zero-based budgeting is usually starting point, and then very quickly you're going to realize you need your vision, because once you've zero-based budgeted, you need to reinvest into something, and without a vision, you don't know where you're going. So the vision is going to be key for you to be able to then figure out what type of user experience you want to deliver that's linked to the vision, because user experience right now is everything. So product and service have to be linked to user, and ultimately that feeds your roadmap. The roadmap is just today till then, and then being the vision. And the roadmap is forcing you to figure out what are the different milestones to get there. And With the roadmap, you know that you need some sort of digital evolution or technology evolution. So the evolution right now, what they call the 4.0, is usually has to do with technology. So evolution on that stream has to happen at the same time as a roadmap. So you need like a business roadmap, and you also need kind of your technology roadmap linked to evolution. Once you have those two things, you need to figure out like, so what is my strategy to get to those different milestones? Because there are different ways to get to the peak of a mountain, right? So your strategies need to be laid out. Once you know that you have to make a business case to get the investments you need to feed those strategies. So see it as system, people, process. What do I need to get to my first milestone on that roadmap? It's starting to get easier, right? And then the gap analysis is basically what's missing between each milestone. So from here to there, very closely linked to the business case, but the gap analysis is a different exercise per se. It's just telling you exactly what's missing. And the risk, it's if you don't make the leap and if you don't fill in the gap, the risk is exactly what you're gonna live as a consequence of not moving. And fix the base is ultimately always a starting point because you're at base camp. Your base is there, you need to fix it, and sometimes the base is holding you back and keeping you from moving forward. So fix the base is always, it's always there in your mind. And the work stream is essentially you engaging and mobilizing people to get to work ASAP on all those different initiatives that you've mapped out. So that's my Unbreakable kind of story, and linked to those 12 different perspectives and how they're working together for me, and hopefully it's going to help you guys out. I'm Vince, your business engineer. Like this video or dislike, post a comment, join the channel, and stay tuned. Bye guys.